In this video, I'm going to review with you some features of proportions. This first example here says a grocery store sells sliced pastrami by weight. The relationship between the amount of pastrami in pounds X and the total cost in dollars of the sliced pastrami Y is represented by a graph drawn in the XY plane. If the point 828 lies on the graph, what does the pair 828 indicate? So right here, they tell us that pastrami in pounds is X, and the cost in dollars is Y. So that means that the first number, which is X, and the second number, which is Y, the 8 represents the pastrami in pounds, and the 28 represents the cost in dollars. So which answer choice here shows that we have 8 pounds and $28. 8 pounds and $28. And it's this one because it's a total cost of $28. This one says that the 8 pounds cost $28 each. That doesn't make sense. I didn't emphasize right here. Total costs. All right, so for that example, the answer is the third choice. Next example, Penelope practices the piano the same number of minutes each day. The relationship between the number of days X and the total number of minutes she practices Y is represented by the graph below. What does the ordered pair 390 indicate? Up here they told us what X and Y mean, but down here it also tells us. It says number of days, and we're using 3. And total practice time in minutes, 90. So which choice here shows that she's doing 3 days and 90 minutes of time? She practices a total of 90 minutes over 3 days, right there. Next example. Company orders boxed lunches from a deli, which all cost the same price. The relationship between the number of boxed lunches ordered X and the total cost in dollars of lunches Y is represented by the graph below. 2 points R and S are labeled. Which statement about the graph is true? All right, so the first choice here says point R means that the unit rate is 2 lunches per dollar. Let's see if that's true. According to point R, it would be $20 for 2 lunches. That's not true. $20 for 2 lunches. That would mean that each lunch is $10, right? Each lunch is $10, right? If I'm spending $20 on 2 lunches, that's not 2 lunches per dollar. Second one, point S means that the unit rate is 10 lunches per dollar. So for $1, you can get 10 lunches? That's absolutely not true. We just established that 1 lunch is $10. Third choice, point S means that the unit rate is $10 per lunch. Absolutely, that's the right answer. Look at $10 for 1 lunch. So this is the right answer. Let's just confirm. The fourth choice says point R means that the unit rate is $20 per lunch. Well, this one's almost right. The unit rate is not $20 per lunch. The unit rate is $20 per 2 lunches, or $10 a lunch. So this one is the third choice. This example says a company orders boxed lunches from a deli which all cost the same price. The relationship between the number of boxed lunches ordered X and the total cost in dollars of the lunches Y is represented by the graph below. The point 535 is labeled. Which statement about the graph is true? So if they're buying 5 lunches, 5 is the first number, that's the X coordinate. So they're buying 5 lunches, and the cost is $35. That means that the lunches are $7 per lunch, right? If I spent $35 on 5 lunches, that's $7 a lunch. And there we go, first choice. The unit rate is $7 per lunch. No, it's not $35 a lunch. $35 got us 5 lunches. The unit rate is not 7 lunches per dollar. That would mean that for $1 you could feed a couple families. And 5 lunches per dollar, same thing. $1 does not get you that many lunches, right? $1 barely gets you a quarter of a lunch. So the answer for this one is $7 per lunch. Sebastian has just gotten a new job. The relationship between the number of hours he works X and his total earnings Y is represented by the graph below. What is the constant of proportionality in the graph? Constant of proportionality is found by doing the Y coordinate divided by the X coordinate. And you can only do this if the line is proportional. That means it has to be a line, and it has to start at the point 0, 0. It has to start at the origin. This is a line, and it does go through the origin. So if I want the constant of proportionality, I just need to do 180 divided by 8. And 180 divided by 8 is 22.5. The constant of proportionality for this problem is 22.5. There's no label on this answer, but what that means is that he earns $22.5 for every hour he works. So he works 1 hour, he makes $22.50. Next example, Levi practices the piano the same number of minutes each day. The relationship between the number of days X and the total number of minutes he practices Y is represented by the graph below. Which point on the graph represents the unit rate? Well, let's see if all these points are on the graph. First of all, 0, 0 is right there. That one's on the graph. That could be the answer. 6, 360 is right there. That also is on the graph. 61, that means to go over 60 and up 1. That's going to be like way over here. That's not the answer. And 160, well, 160 is right there. So 3 of these choices are on the graph. So now we need to look at what the unit rate means. In this problem, the Y represents minutes and the X represents days. So minutes for Y, days for X. So if I want to know the unit rate, I need to know how many minutes per 1 day. When you do unit rate, you always set the X equal to 1, right? It's always miles per hour. It's always 1 hour. Oranges per box. It's always 1 box, right? So this one wants to know how many minutes in 1 day. So which one of these points shows 1 day? This one does here. 160 right here. That's the answer to this one. So if they're asking about unit rate, it's always the one with the X coordinate of 1. And that's it. That's all the examples. I have nothing left to show you for today. So thanks for watching.